Includes reviews and critiques of various products, movies and works of art, and uses content for educational purposes. This program complies with YouTube's terms of service, including its fair use policy.
Are you enjoying what you see week after week? Consider giving us a like and subscribe. It's a small gesture, but it means a lot. Click the little button and give us a thumbs up. Follow our very talented panel. And for butter's sake, go to rosaliscomics.com and buy a friggin' comic already.
Let's talk about pop culture madness, memes and reboots, retro classic legends in their suits, Avatar, Star Wars, anime too. We'll talk about the sequels, what's coming through. Sunday comes, we go live, telling everything you crave and why. We got cheer up, all that you need. We got the pulse of the pop culture speed. Super Sunday wrap up. Sunday, that's what all we're talking about. It's Super Sunday wrap up. Sunday, that's what we're talking about. Super Sunday, wrap up everything you know. Join the fun, break it down every single show. We're Super Sunday.
Oh yeah!
I've got one that can see.
Sunday, all the news never be the same.
That's quite the jazzy finish. Oh, what have we got here? Oh, look at that. There we go. Can you hear me, Gray?
I can hear you. You sound a little distant, but I can hear you.
What about now? Is this better? That is closer to my mouth, or do I need to fix something? I think I need to fix something.
Kind of sounds like it might be a different mic. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm glad for the reassurance, Charles. I was a little iffy about that. But hey, it's Sunday. Woo!
Yay, Sunday.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Sunday.
Good morning, sir.
Now it's not morning for me.
That's true. You live in the future.
That's right.
How was things?
What? Huh?
I said, how was things?
The wind?
Future. Is it going to be good?
Yes.
Oh, the number 4 might be important to you.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Just might.
You sound great now, Rosales.
Thank you. It's not a Sunday if I don't mess with the microphone. So.
Oh yeah, it's not a stream if somebody doesn't have an issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Super Sunday is back, and we were on a little bit of a vacay for a little while, but now we are back. You may have seen me on a couple of other people's streams while I was on the vacay, and that's because people don't know better. Until it's too late. But anyway, so guys, how has your weekend been? Gray, we'll start with you.
Better than I deserve. So I don't know. I had a good time. I thought I was going to be joining you for After Dark on Friday, but apparently I completely misunderstood. I thought I was just supposed to go out to dinner with my family. Apparently it was dinner and then this big thing where I had to look at a bunch of trees, which was boring.
Oh,
but then I saw some really good entertainment afterwards.
But you know, interventions, they can really help out in a person's life. So
yeah, they had some points. It's hard to knock them.
Sipo, how has the storm been?
Pretty gnarly, actually. We're kind of in the country. Wales got hit pretty hard. I think a couple of people died in Wales, but windows opened that were latched. So that's pretty strong wind, if you ask me.
Yes. It's a fairly strong wind to open up a window and say, "Hey, notice me. I'm weather."
I guess I
Knock over
don't
random
usually
things.
think of like wind with the UK. Is it a big deal there? Am I just ignorant?
I not really. If you are, then so am I, because I mean, it's usually like damp. Every like meme of the UK being gray is based.
Based.
It's earned, that's for sure.
95
Bri.
miles. 95 miles an hour yesterday, according to Bry. And I believe this particular storm had a name. And whenever you put a name on a storm, you know it's going to be, it's going to try to do something like open latches.
I knew it and I forgot it. Something with an R. An R is somewhere in there.
Reginald?
It sounded more like an eldritch god, I think is what it sounded like
Cool.
Dengor or something like that. Lots of wind, lots of rain.
Yeah. That's what I associate with England. Well, not wind so much, but rain, humidity, just dankness. What is on
I've
your
been
shirt,
living in
Rosales?
Yeah, that is. Oh,
That
that's
is-
Mario.
That is a Mario. Yes.
Flame plant Mario.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
oh, he's got the white suspenders. I see it now.
Yes. Do, that sort of thing. Yeah, I wear gifts that people give me. Let's see here. A dramatic winter storm drags across Western and Central Europe over the weekend.
Why's it gotta be so dramatic?
Why should it be so dramatic? I don't know. Let's see here. We got dynamic and progressive. Well, okay then. Weather pattern over Europe is forecast to produce another intense winter storm this weekend. A deep low emerged. But where's the name?
Yeah.
I know there was a name. Bri, if you have any idea what they named this the storm, let us know. Because it looks like Europe is going to be dealing
Dara.
with some what? Darrow. Is it there?
Darragh. Dara.
I knew a girl named
I
that.
Googled myself.
Okay.
And it felt good.
I Googled myself and I didn't come up Dara. What kind of a name is that? Dara.
Well, apparently it was named by the Met Office on Thursday morning and is the fourth named storm of the 2024-2025 season. So
that explains
it's just
the D.
the only name you know.
Oh, so Alvin, Brian, and Christopher were the other ones?
Yes.
And then they just swung to
Close. It was Ashley, Bert, and Connell.
Ooh.
Man, I would have hated to have gotten Connelled.
Mm.
But to be Darrowed over the weekend. Not at all.
That's not very many if you consider Florida gets like 6 a week.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently they already have all the names for the future storms as well.
Oh.
Next is Aowen and then Florus and then Gerben. I think Gerben would be the worst. I lost my home to Gerben.
I need to start writing that. I lost my home to Gerben. I had this idea that every single one of these cyclones and hurricanes actually covered up a monster that was in the eye of the storm. And they would just kind of come up and eat and then leave.
What would they eat? Cities? People?
I guess, yeah. I hadn't thought that far ahead. I just concept. That's it. But there's found footage of these things going across and causing mayhem, and the winds and the clouds and the storms hide it. That sort of thing. But Yeah, never went anywhere with that. So feel free. So we got plenty of topics this time around. We've got what do we got? Skeleton Crew,
Based.
debate on canon, weekend box office if they decide to update. I think it's going to be exciting. There's a bunch of changes I did not expect to see happen there.
Based
Uh,
on Friday's numbers, it might be very tight.
I
A lot-
s- I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
What do you
I saw Interstellar take hold of the number 5 or 4 slot so
Mhm.
far, which to me, a re-release going over the new releases,
Yeah,
it says a lot. So
not looking very good for the newcomers.
we got what's new for DVD, Skeleton Crew, and recap the Haktua thing for those who weren't here on Friday. Yeah. And it's all on the wheel. That's not the wheel.
Has Haktua reached $0 yet?
I don't think so. I think Haktua, I think they're going to hold on to it for like a month and then just call it dead.
Don't contractually they need to? Oh, I'll wait. Since it's on the topics, I'll just wait.
I guess we can wait for the wheel, but I am interested in those questions as well. Oh, I was hoping it was DVDs.
And wrestling. It's been a couple of weeks since we talked about wrestling, so yeah.
You
talk
should
about
probably be
wrestling.
in full Juventude gear for this.
I should. And where did it go? I had a presentation all set up and everything. Oh, here it is up in the corner.
Yeah.
Look at me. Trading
Woot.
place. What are we all doing in the wrong spots? I don't understand. Yeah, upcoming on Monday, they're going to be counting down to sell the All In Texas at Globe Life Field. Starting
Is
at
that a kid in the middle?
yes, it is. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact, that's his dad with a bright open mouth. He is an internet
Oh.
sensation. These guys are known as the Costco guys.
Oh, that's one of the he's Rizzler's older brother, right?
Yes, that is the Rizzler's older brother, and just as chunky. So, yeah, these beefy boys, they found their own Jake Paul
At Costco.
at Costco, and yeah, it makes sense. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a celebration. They're going to be selling tickets, and you can meet your favorite AEW stars at this event if you happen to be near the Globe Life Field on Monday.
Is that who I think it is in the middle?
Who do you think it is? Bobby Lashley?
Yeah.
Because that's who it is.
Is he well, I would assume so. He's officially out of the WWE now?
Yes, he was officially out of the WWE, and once his contract was up, he joined MVP and one other to form the Hurt Syndicate here in AEW.
Very well.
Not to be confused with the Hurt Business from WWE, even though it's the same people.
A different tax form.
Different tax form, yes. And so there's that. Coming up also on Friday, December 20th for AEW is Final Battle, ROH.
None more after this.
Well, it's the final battle for this year. And
oh, that makes sense.
Woof.
You know, AEW has over 200 on their roster, so it makes sense for them to put a bunch of them in ROH, and they have.
I am not a fan of that font.
No. Mm-mm.
You are a little font peculiar, though.
Yeah, no,
particular, I should say. You have strong feelings. Sans serif is nowhere to be used around you.
I am quite the font snob, but that makes me feel ill.
Yeah, it's kind of like the fake alien writing. where you're looking on the side of uh, you're watching a cheap movie
Oh,
and you see
Yeah.
commissary written out in what looked supposed to be a futuristic alien
yeah.
language. It's and the wrestling's not much better. So watch that. You can go to the Manhattan Center and see it for your own eyes, or you can watch it on the ROH Ring of Honor app.
Ruh-roh.
Sorry, going back to the font, but like the two T's are not even the same in battle. But that A in final is really tripping me out. You're right.
Yeah.
It looks like that fake alien language.
Yeah, and it looks like the two T's were best friends and a woman came between them.
Yeah. No.
I don't know what that means. And finally, Saturday, December 28th, AEW's final pay-per-view of the year, World's End, will happen in Orlando, Florida. So tickets are available right now.
Are they doing it in space?
No.
Deceptive.
But there will be plenty of space in the stands, apparently, because they do have a lot of trouble hawking those tickets.
Well, they got to stop bringing like social media people and posing as wrestlers.
Yeah. Saturday night main events makes its first return on broadcast TV Saturday, December 14th in Long Island for WWE. Their main event being Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. So look forward to that over the broadcast, air broadcast thing, if you will. And right after that, we see the next big thing being Raw on Netflix.
Oh.
And if you don't have a subscription, you can't see John Cena.
I thought we all can't see.
Well, if you don't see him now, then he's here. So, and over this weekend, over on Saturday, this past Saturday, there was a premium live event for NXT called Deadline, which has nothing to do with Deadline, the news people.
Why does that frame look so photoshopped?
It does. It looks
That is very strange.
really busy.
Real action doesn't look very dynamic when you catch it at the wrong moment, but they tried to catch the moment this guy kicked the dude holding two other dudes. So you got four people in here, and the one guy is doing his super kick, which, by the way, that's not how you actually, if you know anything about kicking. There are some arts, maybe martial arts, I think, that will tell you about kicking, and that's not how you do it. But that's how you do it if you want to be on TV, I guess. Anyway, Obafemi won the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. And this match, you got 5 people coming in, one at a time, every 5 minutes. And if you get pinned, you go into a penalty box for 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which means you can't get a pin for 60 seconds. You're kind of penalized for losing. Anyway, the one with the most pins wins, and that was Obafemi.
Penalized for losing. How dare? How very dare they?
What do they think of next?
Not everybody gets a trophy in WWE. And that's how they started this premium live event. I'm not showing any clips because they like to tell me that I'm using their content. So this is coming directly from their website, the WWE Network, WWE.com. Lola Vice defeated Jada Parker in an NXT Underground match. The Underground
Does she
match.
have shin pads on? Can
Yes.
you wear shin pads?
Yes.
I think I would opt for shin pads.
Yes, she's got shin pads.
I have pads everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And that is Lola Vice doing the kicking right there. The Underground match is as follows. 2 women enter a ring with no ropes.
Oh,
There
that's
are
not very
only
overground.
there
Ropeless
are
rings? What?
Ropeless
Underground type stuff.
a bunch of people are paid to beat the mat around them and not participate.
Do they act as the ropes, though? If you get thrown into them, do they push you back?
No, but they can
Ah.
accidentally get hit, which is
Okay.
supposed to be the exciting part of that.
They will part like a like a metal concert.
Referees are there to count pinfalls. There is no rope breaks because there are no ropes. There is no countouts outside of the ring if they happen to go there. And this is really reminiscent of something called blood sport,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is a
get your
Complete
wings.
with the kicking.
it's a
Oh.
shoot wrestling event where it's a combination of shoot wrestling and wrestling, meaning real punches are thrown, real kicks are thrown. You can actually get hurt or knocked out. And it's only scripted if you can make it to the end of the match. If it ends prematurely, it ends prematurely because you got hit too hard. So,
Guess I'm kind of an idiot. When you said Bloodsport, I assumed that you were talking about the amazing cinematic feature that is Bloodsport. But yeah, fair enough. The movie was based on a thing. Okay, I get you.
yeah, well, this thing is based on the movie, which was based on the thing.
It's all based.
So it's and then this right here is based on the thing that's based on the movie that's based on the thing. So we're looking at a
Based.
copy of a copy of a copy of a copy, and it was about as good.
Exception.
So yeah, she won.
Well, good
Then-
for her. Wow, that's a good still.
Yeah. Then you had the NXT Tag Team Champions, Fraxium, defeating.
How many people are getting slammed right there?
It's I'm counting 5 legs.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. It almost looks like AI, doesn't it?
Ah,
It really does.
it does.
It looks like that one leg doesn't belong to that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's 2 guys being taken down by one guy, or one guy being taken down by 2 guys.
Disguised as another dude.
But yeah, the NXT Tag Team Champions, they retained in a really weird looking spot.
Yeah, so it's 6 legs. Okay. Yeah.
More kicking as NXT
Yay.
champion Trick Williams defeated Ridge Holland.
Poor Ridge.
And you can tell, I want to make sure we know who's who. Trick Williams is in the black trunks and Ridge Holland is in the white trunks.
I would have called those more of a copper, or not a copper, excuse me, a silver, maybe a
Gunmetal?
platinum. Yeah, gunmetal, sure.
I would have gone with gray, but maybe that's just me.
And then finally, the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Julia won the match. Here you see the shortest woman being choked out by the average size woman,
Oh,
and the largest woman choking the average sized woman.
why are all these images like AI? They're like screen grabbed.
Yeah.
It's like these Where's Waldo sight gag things.
I don't know how this is working out for them, but this is from their website, not mine. I did not pull
Kinda
these images that they
perfect.
have.
Yeah.
It's kind of a Three Stooges effect.
Yeah, and it's kind of drawing my interest. It's like, what is actually happening in these
Yeah.
pictures?
You can't just cruise through these. You really need to stop for a second.
Yeah, and have a look
Hmm.
at where these this one on the bottom. We actually interviewed her on a Morning Coffee about a year and a half ago.
Ooh.
So before she went to WWE. So cheers to her. The Ren Sinclair now is what she's called. So good for her. Good for her.
Yeah.
But that's our wrestling update there. Come back over here. I should have had some music going for that. But we don't have Bob to tell us sports. Oh,
Oh, no, you went underwater, results.
I choked
Oh, there we go.
everybody
You're
out.
back.
I choked everybody out with the music. Yeah. This
Well,
is
it is
more.
too bad that we don't have Bob, but he did an amazing extended sports section on After Dark. So if you're missing the Bob, check out the last episode. It was great.
Yeah. Bob caught us up on 2 weeks worth of football.
Mm.
And I thought it was hilarious. But that's just me. Let's see what we're going to do here with the spin.
Uh-oh. The biggest slice.
Skeleton Crew. All right. Let's ask the big question here. Has anybody seen it?
2 episodes
I
of it.
have.
You
Yeah.
have. Good for you. Good.
So you haven't seen it? You
I
made the pretty thumbnail, but
I got to a portion of episode 1. No, wait a minute. Skeleton Crew. Yes, I did see all of it. It was the other one that I did not see a whole lot of. So yeah, I saw Skeleton Crew the first 2 episodes, and I thought they were just dandy. Some people tried really, really hard to hate on it,
they're still trying.
and
Really?
Yeah. To some, the first episode is just filler. Nothing but filler.
Oh,
It should have started with the
come
kids finding the hatch and then walk right in, and then they're good. Then the adventure begins.
it's just I don't know. I don't know how I want to. It's just unfair. You're not taking things seriously if you're trying to claim that you're covering it from a critical perspective. If you're expecting a 8-10 episode series
8 episodes. And
to
Yeah, I
not
think
establish
8 is-
characters before they just jump into conflict.
Kind of. I mean,
well, that's not
the
Gray's.
other is
It's
No,
not.
no.
Gray's.
I wasn't Gray. I wasn't taking issue with what you were saying.
no. Just the criticism I keep seeing on my cursed feed. I understand what you're saying. There's some people really trying to hate on it. The other main thing is, this is a Disney female character. Now I'm forgetting her name, but the tomboy girl is, she's a strong female, and apparently Disney doesn't know how to write any of those. And then the other weird one that I've heard for this is that who is the main character? It's like, okay, but when you think back to Star Wars, is it all about Luke, or did everybody have their favorite that wasn't Luke? I don't know. I'm digging it. I'm not a huge Star Wars simp or whatever, so I think they still have room to screw this up. But so far so good. I'm in.
I think they only screw it up if they bring it back to a Skywalker or a Palpatine. Okay. If they bring it back to a Skywalker or a Palpatine, then for me, the whole thing just kind of bottoms out, because you know where those stories go. They have an opportunity here in a galaxy far, far away to build an entirely different scenario of events that may or may not have taken place while the other stuff was going on. Because, it's raining here where I'm at, but it's not hurricane winds like where Charles is at. We all have family, but not as loving and endearing as Gray's family that want to keep him whenever they have him. No, stay. Hang with us.
Those are
Snuggle.
the in-laws. My family tried to get rid of me.
See, but there are stories that take place in our connected universe that have nothing to do with the other stories, is what
Is
I'm
it a-
saying.
Bad time to bring up that we're all related to Darth Vader.
A little
Bad
bit,
time.
little
Okay.
bit undermines me, but yeah. So they have an opportunity to build something that they can build off of in future stories, future events, future films. And especially since these kids, if they plan on going on a second season, as they grow up, not necessarily Stranger Things, but something where, if one of them winds up standing out, if the girl winds up standing out, and she grows up to be a girl boss, if you will, or a pirate, and has pirate adventures, or even the boy, Whim, who is named after what he does. He goes out on a whim and does whatever he wants. Him being a pirate, that would be kind of cool. Eventually, it's like everybody else gets home, and then, no, I'm going to be the adventurer. I'm going to go have pirate adventures with this crazy man who just rescued a bunch of children. So, if they come back and everybody's a Jedi and everybody can do superpowers and there's threads and they tie it into a bunch of stuff, which most likely they're going to do, then they'll event it would be a ball drop for me. But again, I'm optimistic on where they can go. I'm optimistic on how they could put this all together. The first episode takes them and puts them in a ship, which I think they missed an opportunity because the one kid said, "Hey, wait, if we go into hyperspace, we're going to wind up lost in a galaxy." I thought, what a great opportunity to say we could wind up in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an opportunity to say, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Well, yeah, you could call back or you could ham it up like I thought would have been great. Charles disagrees with the hamminess of it.
He knew where you were going.
Yeah, I'm sure the
Charles
internet
is
would
not a
have
fan of
loved
the
that.
But man, there's so many vibes in here of so many different like 80s amazing kind of, I don't know what you want to call them, like franchises. Like there's Total Flight, the Navigator, the Explorers, Space Camp even. There's so much going on with this. And it feels like they're finally going down kind of a different route that is still kind of what Star Wars was. It was paying homage to a bunch of different serials and stuff. We do have a bunch of pirate ones that are kind of paying homage to with this, but man, I'm finally glad that they're not just rehashing the exact same story, and they're kind of exploring and kind of fleshing out a world. I hope they do it well. So far, I'm digging all of the different creatures that they're bringing in, and the whole like pirate. I don't know what you want to call it. Crew. You can definitely see a bunch of use for all of these different species that we've seen throughout Star Wars, and it doesn't feel like they're being kind of shoehorned in. It's kind of fun to see now I forget what the werewolf type is called, but seeing that dude come back, see the three-eyed dudes come back. There's a bunch of fun kind of callback things, and then it seems like they're doing a bunch of like practical puppetry with a few of these creatures as well. The ferryman was quite fun to actually see like this little rod puppet being used. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with this, but for some, it's too slow already.
Oh,
it's a silly, silly criticism, I think.
Oh, and then I forgot. It's one of the cooler voice droids that I've seen in a while, and I couldn't quite put my finger on the voice while it was actually going on. Did you realize who SM-33 was? The droid on the ship that the kids meet?
Oh, it's some fat guy?
Yeah, an amazing fat guy. Nick Frost. He's awesome. But I didn't put that together. And then the character's name is also SM-33. Which is damn close to Shmi, if you think about it.
Oh.
It also sounds like a microphone. But,
A Shure microphone.
Mr. Smee.
And that's kind of the voice that Nick Frost is doing in this. So, hell yeah, it's the year of Frost. He's got at least kind of 4 big things he's in.
It's better push a talent that we know than some obscure starlet.
Well, kind of speaking of talents we know and not so obscure starlet, did you happen to notice who was in the kind of Lobot headgear thing? One of the pirates?
Oh, yes. Urkel.
And at the end. Yeah.
I noticed that.
Came back. When I saw him, I was like, there's no way that's Urkel. And I was like, yep, that's Jaleel White. Wow.
He's fantastic. I mean, he's got to be in his 40s by now, right?
I would think so, but man. Definitely worth the watch so far, Vincent. But it's Star Wars. They could screw it up at any point.
Plenty of time
Absolutely.
to screw it.
But
They could
so
go-
far, so good.
It's possible for them to go 8 episodes and then just end it.
Is anything possible for Star Wars to do that? No. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a machine, kind of like Marvel, where, this worked, so keep going.
Now we tag in Charles for the hot take.
It's awful. Is that the hot take?
Well, do you feel it's awful?
No, not at all. I'm actually quite jealous of kids who get to experience this. Like, this is something that I would have loved to have watched as a member of the target age group, because I really feel like this is certainly for, kids who grew up with Goonies and Stand By Me. It has a lot of Spielbergian vibes to it, and it's just it's fun while not really patronizing children, even though none of us know what it's like to be a child in the universe of Star Wars. It feels familiar, but it also does some things differently. And there's plenty of whimsy. I think Giacchino, the score, is very John Williams-y without being John Williams. And there's this intangible thing that just feels special about 80s content and Star Wars, and they've kind of taken the two and put them together. And so far, it's neat. Like we've said already, I could certainly see them screwing this up, but as long as they don't try to shoehorn things in there. I mean, the kid in the beginning, he was playing with two like lightsaber wielding toys. You can make it so that people are Jedi that aren't a part of the Skywalker saga, and still have respect for the original content while showing that, we don't have to be Luke and Darth Vader or Palpatine or Yoda and still be able to tell an engaging story. So far, it seems like there's hope for that.
It definitely seems like it. And you mentioned the kid playing with the toys. He's not the first kid in Star Wars to be playing with toys. The first one was Luke. He had some action figures back in the day. So I don't know. There's some really fun moments in here. Also, the kids kind of getting launched into space, not necessarily meaning it. That's really like space camp to me. Wasn't that Joaquin Phoenix? Really? It's the 80s classic, sir. I think it was one of Joaquin's first ones, but it's kind of fun. Kids accidentally getting launched into space when they were supposed to just be in space camp. It's got a lot of vibes of like Flight of the Navigator. All of a sudden, they're just wandering through the woods, and then, they end up later. I guess that's a little bit more time travel, but man. And then it's also got Explorers vibes. Just so many 80s ones that really kind of, it hits that tone really well. Even some E.T. vibes. The parent is very inattentive, too busy with work. They're going with a lot of tropes, and I guess some people don't like that, but it feels like a really good marriage so far. So I hope they keep it up.
I think they've done a fine job of trying to placate the diehards while reaching out to a younger audience. That's what Star Trek did with the Phantom Menace. Put me off on it because the Phantom Menace wasn't meant for me. It was meant for a younger, brand new audience for Star Wars. The re-release of the first original three before the Phantom Menace, that was for me, and I should have been satisfied with that as a grown-up. Coming in and watching the Phantom Menace and seeing these guys, is it legal? And all that other stuff going on. You said people gonna die? That's kid stuff. Kid stuff is going on here.
But the Gungans.
Listen, kids love politics.
Gungans.
They love hearing about trade routes. They really, really enjoy trade routes.
A trade dispute. Yes, that's what we need to do.
So this actually touches on George Lucas's kind of original ideas for the prequel trilogies. It was supposed to be Darth Maul leads this like group of pirates, which is kind of close to what we're getting. I mean, it's not Darth Maul, but I think that sounds infinitely more entertaining than trade disputes. Let's talk about the Galactic Senate.
It makes more sense that this guy might be a failed Sith, wielding the powers, if you will.
Oh, the Jude Law character?
Yes, and wound up being a pirate after
Mm-hmm.
Being, or maybe he was a Sith and he faked his death because his apprentice tried to kill him, because that's what they do. The Siths will be eaten by their own. That's how you gain the power.
I think the reveal of where the kids came from, I could see them totally screwing that up, trying to shoehorn, I don't know, original storyline lore in there, but I could see it working too. But that's the part where I'm most insecure about where they're going with it, because I could really see them trying to tie it back into other stuff.
See, now I see that as a kind of a fun twist. The most normal thing in the Star Wars universe: green lawns, streets, neighborhoods, suburbs, just buildings and academia. The most normal thing is the hidden treasure planet that is, this paradise lost that people have been searching for in the wild, wild west of space. I think that's kind of cute. I think it's a fun twist. I don't know what they could tie it into Palpatine and ruin the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's kind of fun. It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
and before it was released, a lot of the criticism was, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what I want from a galaxy far, far away, is the suburbs." But I got to be honest, like I'm kind of digging the fleshing out of that world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's working out really well, I think. So.
But I think they could really screw it up. But I've been to a place called Eden. It wasn't exactly the real, land of whatever mythicality. Instead, it's just some place named after it. I don't know if they're going to go like a twist like that in this thing, but why would these pirates necessarily know the name of new settlements or whatever? I don't know. So I also have some hesitation to how they're going to flesh that part out of it, but there's ways that you could do it that would be really cool. So I hope they continue with it. So far, I got a little bit of faith in them.
Yay. Gray has faith. That's awesome.
I'm just tired of them
A little bit.
shoving these elephant people down our throat. Like, we get it. There's blue elephant people in the world. Enough.
You're done with the, that's kind
These
of
woke DEI elephant hires.
You jest, but no, I'm not kidding. Like a lot of the criticism was that, okay, Fern is just this tomboy who's just super full of herself, and her and KB are just so smart, and they're able to trick Wim, and I can't even remember the other kid's name, into
Elephant Boy,
actually doing their work for them, whatever. And then these other kids are just so timid and stuff. But it's like, that's also a trope. That's a Tom and Huck type deal. They got tricked into doing a lot of manual labor.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like that's another callback, but fair enough. Maybe they hate them. But yeah, they say that there are Disney characters and that exactly what's going to happen. Wim's looking for adventure. He's going to find his adventure. Fern, she's very full of herself, but at some point she's going to get humbled. And then the kid, the elephant kid, who's not really looking for adventure, at some point he's really going to get on board with the adventure, and he's really going to become that hero that he needs to be. It's like, yeah, isn't that most people's journey?
That's a Disney thing?
Apparently.
Okay, noted.
So I don't know. It does feel like these are a lot of kind of classic 80s type characters, which is really the vibe that they're going for. So I don't know. I'm not seeing it as an issue, but for some people it is.
See, I'm not seeing this girl as a girl boss. I see her as an insecure figure whose false bravado is going to lead to some stuff, just like Wim's trusting in the adventure, regulating itself, got them to where they're at. She's in it for herself, and she's going to wind up eventually being for everybody at some point.
Yeah, based on who her parent was.
But if she's not a girl boss, how do you explain how good she is on a bike? I mean, come on.
Well, she may be wizard.
Oh, that is my one thing that I did not like about this. They're trying to make fetch a thing. So if you remember in the prequels, Anakin was trying to call his pod racer wizard. Like, he's like, oh, it's so wizard. It's not a good saying. They really need to give that up. But it is a callback. They didn't just come up with it for the win.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand. You're not from that galaxy.
And I love the fact that they gave her the Skywalker trope of having to go after what is it she was looking for? Power converters. That's what she was looking for, and that's why Luke wanted to go to a Tashi station to pick up a couple of power converters. Instead, he had to stay and work.
I don't remember that. Damn it.
The opening sequence. The last thing he said to his aunt and uncle.
No, I meant as far as
You don't remember Tashi Station? Come on, man.
no, I
Luke
remember
needs his
the
power
OG
converters.
stuff. I don't remember it in Skeleton Crew.
Oh, it's the part of the bike that goes out that they need a new power converter.
Oh,
It's just another callback.
Was she trained in the vault like Lucy? No, because she's not a girl boss. She couldn't even get them out of trouble when they were in the locked in the jail cell. Spoiler alert if you hadn't seen it.
They needed AI to help them.
Yeah. So she's definitely flawed. She doesn't have all of the answers. She can't outsmart everybody. She's not quite the girl boss yet. I think that's where they're going to go with it. And if that's the case, then that's fine because that's called character development. It's important for somebody who thinks they are everything and pretends to be everything to find out that they are nothing before they can become everything.
What if it's a group of flawed characters who only when they work together can be girl boss-ish?
I think the only girl boss is the one with the visor.
Yeah.
She can do a bunch of stuff without explanation. And I think it's just because she's Asian. So
does that character feel like like a slap in the face? She's got a Geordie LaForge visor on, but she's in Star Wars. How can this be?
What's a Geordie LaForge?
Oh, you don't know The Next Generation, sir? Come on, it's LeVar Burton. Reading Rainbow's LeVar Burton from The Next Generation.
I'm familiar with his look. I didn't know his name.
Yes.
It's Geordie LaForge.
Well, I don't know if that's as much a slap in the face as making the fat kid be an elephant.
Oh man, I wished that they would have gotten the elephant kid's crush on that ship. I can't remember her name now, but such a cute character design. It reminds me of my sugar gliders. That's the character I want to be following, not the elephant.
They should make him the chunk out of this group, where he has to do the truffle shuffle before he gets into the ship.
I'm assuming we're going to get that. At some point, he's going to be in a Hawaiian shirt doing the little dance.
He's a distraction while they get the robot. That's what's going to happen.
I'm here for it.
It's a dance-off. So, yeah, I'd look forward to it. Is there a new episode tonight?
Wednesday.
New episode Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye out for that and see how they go. What did you think out there in the comment section? Did you enjoy Skeleton Crew? Do you think it's too kidsy? Do you think it's too 80s-y? Do you think it's too girl bossy? Let us know in the comments.
Seems Vincent's on the fence.
Are they? Is it too Irish?
What?
He was talking about the name of the storm earlier.
A wee bit too Irish.
Pulled that a wee bit out of context. Oh, look at that. Glory be. We can see the storm now. The shutters are gone.
Come on, DVDs.
It's time.
Okay, Hawk
Get on that thing.
coin?
Yep.
Or
Hawk
Shock coin.
Well, the money sign tells you it's a coin. It's a cryptocurrency.
I think Charles was telling me earlier that we pronounced the S. So now it's Shock coin.
Is it? Do you pronounce the S?
I do.
Charles does, but it's just a choice.
I see. It's a personal choice. It's a personal matter. Let me give a recap real quick. Haley Welch, known as the Hawk to a Girl, launched the Hawk meme coin. Meme coin doesn't sound very nice, like something you would want to put real money in. A meme?
So wait, You're
Meme
telling me
coin?
the Hawk Tua girl is part of a pump and dump? No way. No way.
It's quite possible. On December 4th, she launched the meme coin. The cryptocurrency experienced a rapid surge, reaching a market capitalization of 490 million shortly after its release. However, in under an hour, its value plummeted by over 90%, leading to significant financial losses for investors. And that comes from news.com.au. A lot of people thought it was a rug pull, and uh, even people like CoffeeZilla uh, questioned them thoroughly about what they were doing, and they said it was not a rug pull. He said it was a rug pull. He said it was a scam, and they said no, he's full of s, whatever that word might be in YouTube land, full of
Stoned.
crap, full of crap, and he's spouting lies and lies and lies. And then another guy came on and said, no, he's right. You scammed a bunch of people. So, and these are the things I gathered from the interwebs. Let me see if I can clear this out here. Boom. There we go. Oh, look at that. That's in the way, isn't it? It's kind of like a. Let me hide that real quick. Shortly before the release of her of the coin, she did a video talking about avoiding getting canceled. You know, just look wise. How to avoid getting canceled, and she's the expert on that, I guess. And
Why? She's been around for 6 months.
she hasn't had time to be canceled.
She may not make it to 2025 either.
I know this all happened so quickly. You know, it's like within 15 minutes.
She's at 14.
1458.
And she's going to go to Harvard, maybe learn a little business.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now she's got her down payment for her tuition.
Or bail.
Hawk Tua, be like, Merry Christmas, y'all. Someone right now is having to explain to his wife and kids there's no Christmas because Daddy YOLO'd into the Hawk Tua meme coin. So I guess I'm just saying your day could have been worse. So yeah, some people did not have good times with this.
Like, what type of money what type of serious money were people putting into this thinking, oh yeah, this is an investment?
It was an investment if you got in on the ground floor before everybody else did.
Yeah, if you're on the inside, sure.
Yeah, okay. You could say that it was, insiders who benefited from this because they did have access to 90% of it before everybody else did, and they only put on sale 17% of what they had.
Well, no, my point is the second they put it live, they have their stock or whatever, and it goes live to the public. What self-respecting, conservative financial person is thinking, yeah, you know what, I'm going to put money that I probably don't have into this project here, and it's going to be a sound financial investment?
I think there's lots of people out there with too much money that don't know their elbow from their asshole.
Yeah, I agree with that a little bit.
Like this guy right here, my 35,000 that I purchased of Hawk is now 2,000 after 10 minutes of buying.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, but you took my life savings. Being a fan of an entertainer doesn't make them financially viable for investments.
It's I think it's it makes financial sense for her to do this,
Sure.
including the rug pool, rather than the long-term OnlyFans, which is where she's headed. Because she has to do less for so much more in this. So it went to a foundation. A foundation was created in the Cayman Islands. that could manage this whole thing with unnamed people, because nowadays they're not showing you who the board of directors are. This week they stopped that publicizing the board of directors of companies and stuff like that.
Unrelated issue.
On an unrelated issue. 90% of supply in a single cluster, according to Bubble Maps. You have one source, let's say everybody in the car, and they all get passed out these coins, which were pre-sold, which means by the time the launch is sold, whoever is selling them is no longer selling. So when they launch it to sell, they're not actually selling anything right there and then. However, the ones that they passed out ahead of time, they got sold right away. And those were the ones that were being sold. So they pre-sold 90% of it to a bunch of investors who then turned around and sold it. It was like, it would be like selling everything to Ticketmaster before opening the tickets and then having 17% of the tickets actually available for anybody to purchase, while the rest were available through Ticketmaster only.
If you were to describe a rug pull, how exactly would you describe that? Would it be similar to how you just described what they're doing with this thing?
I have no idea because I don't know what I'm talking about here.
Fair enough.
But apparently a rug pull is when the people behind it, not necessarily people associated with them, but people behind it, put it for sale right away and then sell everything and tank the price. Because anytime something is sold in mass quantities,
isn't that what you just
the value
described?
drops.
Like when you're
Absolutely.
saying 90% of it was sold and then they sold that to other people immediately. That to me seems like what I've heard as the description of a rug pull so many times. It feels like this is classic, but perhaps I'm wrong.
Well, and here's where they're gonna defend themselves with this idea. They didn't sell those. Those were pre-sales. So technically they were not on sale at that time. They were sold beforehand.
The
but
word
they weren't.
sell doesn't have any meaning to me anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't a pre-sale. It's what they sold.
If it was sold in pre-sale, then we have nothing to do with it. What they do with it after the pre-sale.
I'm going to get on my boat. It's a sailboat, of course.
Unless they're kicking back everything or half of it, which is what happened with comic books. But I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, some people wanted to talk to the police.
That's a bad Photoshop.
Well, it's a meme coin. Ha 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 ha. It is definitely a bad. If you lost money on Hawk, contact our firm to learn about your legal rights. Our firm represents thousands of NFT and token investors in securities matters. This is attorney advertising. So,
I wonder if they're doing it for free out of the goodness of their hearts, or they're trying to make money.
They are trying to make money off of those who lost money because
that's interesting.
Blood in the water draws the sharks.
Snakes and rats just eating each other.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. Oh, and you can now bet on Polly Market whether or not she will apologize. Not by Friday. That's old news now. Whether she'll be in jail before the end of 2024 or if she'll tweet again. So 2 bets that are. I should have updated that last one.
So wait, how does this work now?
And does the jail have to be related to this, or is it just in jail at all by the end of the year?
It doesn't say. So I would, if I were her, I would have relatives bet big on her going to jail and then getting into a bar fight. So
yet another thing, like if the dollar amount beneath it, like 46,000 volume, that's a lot of money being pissed towards silly nonsense.
Yeah, kind of like Hollywood.
Sure.
But yeah, there's it's
people
just
complain about the price of eggs and also throw thousands of dollars towards Hawk Tua coin.
I don't think anybody
Don't
who
make sense anymore.
bet on Hawk Tua coin was complaining about eggs.
Do you know that?
I don't know that. No, I do not.
It's just we're so at the opposite end of the spectrum on everything. We don't have money. Hey, I'm gonna put a bunch of money into this silly YOLO shit.
You know, what banker is going to go, okay, I'll spot you 35. You know, it's coming out on Thursday. Yeah, sure. Let's do this thing. Let me put you under a contract real quick. All they had to do was buy it and resell it like the people who pre-bought. But there was not enough time. In the time that it took for it to launch, it skyrocketed. And before you could finish your purchases at that high level, it dropped. But you were already locked into that purchase but when you started the purchase.
Yeah.
So,
It doesn't look good that they sold their stock within 20 minutes. Like that to me, that's quite alarming.
mm-hmm. And it's the way the crypto thing works, because it's supposedly so secure and everything else, it's out in the open. You can trace it back. So the new ones that were bought at the launch were purchased from a small group of people who received that pre-purchase from a single location. So you can really tell that it was insiders who were trading, not calling it insider trading, but it was insiders who were trading and making the bulk of the money. And they said, well, we tried to stop that by implementing high fees. You made money off of the transactions. You made money off of the initial transaction, and you made money off of the final transaction. So, and
Don't
when
look
they were questioned about that in their Twitter space, and the one guy said, "Well, everything is owned by the product and the foundation. And who owns the foundation? It's Haley Wells." They made sure to say that multiple times, that Haley Wells is the beneficiary. Haley Wells is the owner of the coin. This is her coin. This is her baby. This is her project. The project is Haley Wells. She doesn't have a clue as to how any of this works. It was not her project. Somebody else came in and made sure she signed away all responsibility, paid her $125,000 to sign off on all of this. And that's all the money she's gotten so far. Because now that everything's gone into the foundation, it's going to take a while before everything gets rerouted around to where it eventually will be.
Are we sure she only got 125,000?
That's what her lawyer said.
Little to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that whole CoffeeZilla thing too. Apparently, it was supposed to be released a lot earlier, but the lawyers, her lawyers, kind of held him up with the release of that. That is interesting.
I'm with skepticism on that one, because if that were the case, when CoffeeZilla was in her Twitter Spaces, I would have just been like, "Listen, I'm not making anything compared to what everyone else is either making or losing. It's just my name on the damn thing." Meanwhile, she ended her portion of the call by saying, "I'm tired. I'm going to leave because it's getting late." Just doesn't seem. A bunch of things don't add up here. Where I don't think she's 100% innocent.
I don't think
she could be stupid.
Yes.
I'll give you that. She could be stupid, but I don't think she's innocent.
She's not innocent because she partook in this whole thing. But I do think she is stupid. I think she got Huck Finned. I think she got Huck Finned into this. Yeah, why don't you put your name on this contract real quick, and everybody will make a whole bunch of money together.
She put her name on that thing.
Yeah, she put her name on that thing. Bryce says she's been used. I think so. I think not by Pookie.
Exploited.
Yes. Sharks and blood. That's what it is.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. I think eventually she will get more than the 125. I think initially that's what she got.
15 minutes. The alarm is getting ready to go off.
Yes, it is. Her time is up. And if she gets in legal trouble, her time is just started.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's promo time. I always forget to do promo time. Let me see. Where did it go?
Me to me.
Countdown at the top there. Ah, yes. Here we go. This portion of the program is brought to you by DMR Hosting, dmrhosting.com. Business hosting plan starting at $4.86 a month for your hosting. One click to 40 scripts installers, free domain name, unlimited traffic, unlimited disk space, 5 domains hosted, 500 email accounts with quality this good and this affordable. You can't not take advantage of these plans and pricings. dmrhosting.com. It's what I do. It's where I host all of my stuff. And you should too. dmrhosting.com. Wrong one. New to DVD. Oh, see, wrong one again. Here we go. We'll do this one more time. Does
Nikon matter?
this Canon? This Canon.
Different camera company.
Does Nikon matter? Is that what you?
Yeah.
Where did I put that? It's over here. Boom. James Gunn did a lot of stuff. Did a lot of interviews and whatnot with the release of the Creature Commandos. And he said in the interview, one of the weirdest things to me is none of this is real. It may be alarming to people, but none of it is real, Gunn told the reporter. It's all just stories that we're all telling about characters. Basically, as far as James Gunn is concerned, canon has become way more important than it should be, and his new DC universe is going to reflect that point of view big time. Should I put it over here? Yeah. So the idea, I guess, is that it used to be when a movie franchise died off and they restarted the franchise, everything that came before it didn't matter. Okay. And it didn't matter for Marvel what Fox did or what Sony did until they got the rights to the characters back. And then it made sense for them, all of that stuff, to incorporate that, to bring in the old fans. But when you have such vitriol coming from the Snyder stands, does it really matter if that stuff is canon? Do you really want them to come along and complain about what's going on? George Lucas sold his whole company because he didn't like the way people nagged about canon and this and that and whatever in the stories. So it's a movie. You know, this movie, take it on its own. Don't worry about what's going on in the past or in the future or what's coming up. Take the story for what it is. That's his point of view. What do you guys think?
I think it depends. Like, if he's starting something new, then I guess it depends on what exactly you're doing. Like, I'll admit I am unfamiliar with what is this new
Creature
thing?
Commandos?
Creature
Yeah.
Commandos?
Oh, you should get yourself familiar with it. It's out every Wednesday after Skeleton Crew's done. Check
Oh.
out some Creature Commandos. It's on Max. You know that one guy? I'm in the same camp as Charles. Like it really does depend, because if you look at any of the like previous like prior comic book movies, it's not like they were going off canon. If you look at like any of the Fox X-Men stuff, it's so far away from what canon actually was. But that's a lot of people's first introduction to it. I don't know. I'm of kind of two minds. If you're gonna like take over the series, you should probably know the basics of it. You shouldn't just make it into something else. But I don't know. I'm really digging kind of what Gunn is able to do with a lot of his series. From what I understand, that's not exactly how Peacemaker was in the comics, but I got to be honest, I don't hate John Cena in that role. Like somehow that is entertaining to me. I saw the other version of Suicide Squad. I really did not like that. I'm not sure which one is more canon, but the Gunn one just seemed so much more fun. And he had characters that, just kind of died in that show that are now back for other shows. So it's kind of fun. I don't know if that's what he means by he's not tied to canon. I'm okay with that. I don't think he should just change everything for the sake of changing it or because of modern day, but I don't know. I give him enough trust that I'll let him decide what should be canon or not. If he's going to change the dog breed on, crypto, I don't care. I'm totally cool with him doing that, but there are some diehards who they're not going to like any imitation of something. I've definitely had books that I loved that got adapted, and it sucks when they do it poorly or when they kind of miss the point of it. So far, I don't feel like they're doing that, but I guess like Charles is saying, I'm fence sitting as well. It depends.
I feel like I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Sipo, but I think that it's okay for Pattinson's Batman to not be a part of this whole thing that he's got going on now. It's okay. It's fine. He's got his own little world. He's got his own little thing. They got the Penguin now building out the world a little bit for him. That was a pretty good show. I thought it did all right. And if it doesn't all come together and they don't do crossovers into, the Creature Commandos, I'm fine with that. Let it be its own thing, because
It's already pretty tied into Suicide Squad, though. Like they made it pretty clear that this is the same world.
Yeah. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the same world where Superman and Batman have to be together as one, at least the two that are on screen right now.
And I'm now forgetting the name of the group that has kind of the dark Batman and Superman, and they happen to be in a relationship together. But that also, like in the comics, that's not in the same world as Superman and Batman. That's why they have this kind of darker version.
Elseworld?
I'm blanking on it. It'll take me 2 seconds to Google, but I'll be back.
You may find that version on wicked.com.
Do I want to enter that into my browser?
No, you're married and you're near your wife, so no. Don't Google that until you get home to America.
All right. I could be looking for tickets to the show.
That's what people thought initially.
Oh.
That's what was printed on the packages of toys, the Mattel toys, instead of wickedmovie.com.
Oh.
And,
which is, easy to make that mistake, but
and they are
horrible, and I'm sure career ending.
Well, someone's career is ending because they're being sued for it. So, but
the Authority was the one that I was trying to come up with. They've got kind of a dark version of both Superman and Batman that are in a relationship together. I don't think the Authority takes place in the same world as the actual Superman and Batman. So if they're going to do that, like kind of tangent worlds that are same comic thing, like that'd be cool. But I don't know. Could you put everything in one world? It's kind of the problem that the MCU is having now. Like same thing with Fantastic Four. Well, how come they haven't been in all this stuff so far? So they're kind of having to ride around it.
One of the characters from the Authority is actually in the Superman movie.
So they are going to combine them then.
Yeah. So I don't think they're shying away from grown-up stuff. And he did mention in the same series of junket appearances that they are not going to shy away from R-rated material for superhero movies. Don't think it's necessary, but it is what it is. And it's something completely different than what you're seeing on the other side of the fence, because apparently we can only have two superhero universes, multi. I need just that much more college to fill out my vocabulary. Need to hit up the library. So, yeah.
Do you have strong feelings on it, Results? Like, you're more closely related to comics than us. You literally write them. Are you a stickler for continuity? If somebody were to adapt your thing, would you be pissed if they didn't stick to everything canon?
Absolutely not. I wrote a series of scripts for a web series called Rainbow Falls. And I adapted that to a book and had to change a lot of stuff just to fit that. Richards from 838 was in the Multiverse of Madness. Reed
True.
Richards.
We got Krasinskiism. Yeah. Which supposedly he might be making a cameo. Perhaps the Council of Reeds will, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. One of them will be an actual reed, the kind that grows out of the ground and goes like this in the wind. A reed. Stretch. All right. So what I was saying, in order to adapt it to a comic book, I even had to change more things. And I did. I adapted the first chapter into a comic book, which is available right now at rosalescomics.com. So in order to do that, you have to fit the medium you're in. If you are requiring an artist to adapt the Mona Lisa into a 2.5 hour, 3-act play, changes are going to be made necessarily to fit that particular medium. And if you don't want to restrict the artist themselves, they need to be able to contribute to the piece themselves. So if you have exactly what was on the page put on the screen 100%, then you don't need an editor. You don't need a director. You don't need anybody else to really put anything together. And it's just going to be completely, it's not going to play out right because it's not meant to be in that medium. Does that make any sense?
I mean, it goes back to the thing that people say when somebody complains, like, "Oh, the original was like this." The fastest argument is, well, go watch that then. Like, why do you want something that you know from your childhood to be exactly the same? Like, what benefit is that for anyone?
Yeah.
So there has to be some sort of change, because why would you just, here's new actors, new everything, and we're just following everything to the T. How is that rewarding for anyone creating that?
It wasn't rewarding watching the remake of Psycho.
Yeah, I was just going to say Gus Van Sant. He showed ass cheek, a little different. There's a little bit of this sound while he's looking through the peephole, I watched the Hitchcock version. And I was like, you know what? I really need to see her ass. Otherwise, this is quite good.
So, it's a little bit different. It's just like, if you wanted to colorize it, just colorize it. And then add this sound too. So, I did, and he has meaty fingers. Did you see him when he put his hands up to his mouth like that? His fingers were just so plump.
Who has meaty fingers?
The guy who was in the remake of the
Vince Vaughn?
Vince Vaughn has really thick, meaty fingers.
I don't remember that.
It's the two things that stuck out to me. Well, those were the two things that stuck out to me, okay, because they were not in the original, okay? Meaty fingers were not in the original, and neither was this sound. And those two...
or Anne Heche's butthole. There's a few editions that they decided to go with. But
yeah,
damn close.
I'm not going to speak ill of the dead. I
don't think I was speaking ill. Just, it's one of those fun facts.
I will not contradict you on any part, is all I'm saying, when it comes to Anne Heche. I usually criticize everything. Yeah, that's just me, though. A little bit
It's
of who
a
I
weird
am.
remake. I don't know. We've got some other fun ones that are going to be remade that are almost on that psycho tier. So good luck with that.
Yeah, but they should, the artist should be allowed to contribute to the project if they get hired onto it. It just makes sense that you allow them to be creative. I hired Charles to rewrite for me a script based on the Charles Schultz Peanuts.
That's an
With
Charlie Brown.
modern sensibilities.
He would not want to do it if I hogtied him and said it needs to be exactly this panel for panel from the Peanuts comic strip, and it just needs to be translated. That would be wrong. Not to let him be creative and to write something interpreted. Plus, you got different sensibilities in the time period. So when something was written for a comic book in like 1962, it definitely needs to be updated because you don't want people wearing bell bottoms unless you're remaking Superman.
What's old is new and what's new is old. Jinkos are making a comeback. Next it'll be bell bottoms. You never know.
Yeah. You never know. So, no, canon can matter to a certain degree, but not too much, I don't think. I think if, just roll with it. Enjoy it for what it is.
I think when people take risks, it's the first thing that people point to, like, oh, the original list or canon is this. How dare you desecrate my thing? And it's like, I don't know. I give them points for taking risks, but it doesn't always work, obviously.
No, but it got to a point there, especially in the Trek universe, where the actors were getting questions about canon in the series, and any type of deviance from one episode to another would be called into question. In episode 107, blah 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 blah, and then in the Next Generation, episode 168, da 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 da. How do you reconcile this and that? You know what? That's on the writers. That's on the creators. It got so ridiculous that the actors are being put on blast for things that they had absolutely zero control over unless they wrote the episode. So, take it a notch down. Enjoy it for what it is. That's all I got to say about that. How about you guys? Just a quick nod?
Yeah, no, I'm something of the opposite of what I've noticed internet fandom to be. If I watch something that I'm familiar with, I kind of want something different about it, rather than, give me the thing that I love all over again. I'll go watch the thing that I love if that's what I want. If you're going to give me something from that universe, I'd like to see some sort of twist on it, even if it's minute, even if it's just an ass cheek.
That's all it took for you. I'm with you, Gus. On this.
And hey, nice. 10 out of 10.
Gray, your final thoughts on canon?
Yeah, mess it all up. Just make something good artistically. What can I say? I'm one of the few that liked Folie à Deux, and my main thing is it didn't do everything that I had a criticism on in the first. It just did its own thing. I really like that. A lot of people didn't like that. There is a certain expectation when you're using like existing IP that you're going to do it a certain way. So I don't know. You're always going to run into that. I don't think that's necessarily wrong. People are expecting a certain thing, but yeah, hopefully you make a really good artistic product in the end, and then nobody can, talk about your weird adaptation about it by saying you did it wrong. It's like, but it's critically loved and it's a great piece of art. Sadly, I don't think they give the one visionary enough like power now to do that. It just seems like there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen who each want to add their own ingredient to it, and sadly, it doesn't make for a very good end result. So I don't know. If it's going to be that, maybe canon would be a little bit better if everybody's just trying to get their piece thrown in there. At least you could use that as an excuse of why we can't accept every producer's every suggestion. But I don't know. I think there's some really interesting things that break canon that are some of my favorite things. So, like Charles said in the beginning, it depends.
There you go. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Sean says Superman is looking very overstuffed, Spider-Man 3 wise style, meaning that there's a lot of different things. Where'd we go? Oh, yeah, we're covered up. A lot of characters are being tossed in there into the mix and everything else into the new Superman movie. You've got possibly the Terrifics as a superhero team in there, and maybe wind up being the Justice League International by the end of it. Superman himself. You've got who's the negative Superman guy? Bizarro. He's in it as well. Ultraman and Lex Luthor and a bunch of others. So it's a big, complicated story, and I don't think everything is there to be the story. Like in Spider-Man 3, everything kind of comes to a head, and all of these creatures and people and things come all together into one overstuffed thing. I think a lot of that is just there as world building, not necessarily NPC style side characters, but it's just to establish that the world existed and that characters do exist in this world that have not yet been introduced, if that makes any sense. So I think that's what's going on with the Superman. Just to cover that real quick. Anybody else have any ideas on Superman? Y'all keeping up with the development of that movie?
9.
9 movies? That's all you have room for?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I've really enjoyed every other time that Gunn has kind of taken on superheroes. I just don't know if Superman's the tone. So I want to have faith in him, but I don't know if that's a tone match to me. So cautiously optimistic.
Wouldn't Superman be a Disney character, considering he's essentially a Gary Stu?
I mean, kinda.
The guy's, the only flaw is the stupid green rock.
Yeah.
And they added that.
Sometimes he has to wear glasses. I mean,
and everybody pretends that he's not Clark Kent. I'm going to do this real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? I'm going to do that because Charles hasn't seen it yet.
I don't mind. I'll forget by 10 minutes from now.
You sure?
Yeah.
I can, because I haven't seen all of it either. And that puts everything on gray.
It's done already?
No. The first 2 episodes are out. So we can catch back up on the 3 next week.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good, my hood.
But almost the exact same as Skeleton Crew. 2 episodes out every Wednesday. The next episode comes out. So double feature, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on what, Max, though?
Yeah, that one dude's streaming site, Max. Yeah.
We're going to close with nuded DVD.
How awesome is that? Oh, wow. Weekend box office. Guess what? Stuff went down at the box office this weekend.
Some very unshocking things, and then one rather shocking thing in the top 5.
Oh yeah,
you got it. Nope, that's not it.
That's not it.
Oh, that is it. Yes, you're right.
Okay, so we got Moana taking the lead, jumping back over Wicked, who was leading on Thursday for the weekend. Gladiator steps up with Red 1 following in 4th, and Interstellar for 5. we had there was on show business. I believe we were talking about possibly Y2K, which is way down here, werewolves, and what was the other one?
Oh, Night Bitch. Wait, that was limited though, so that's
Yeah, and
a
that's
little different.
that's not even in the top 25.
Yeah, they may
Well, and
not
there were
show
like
it in
5
November.
other amazing releases. They were Standing on the Shoulders of Kitties, Oh Canada. Damn, there were like 4 other ones. Getaway, Nick Frost's written one. He actually penned a horror one as well. Sadly, none of those really got up there. So
Yeah. The big
Interstellar.
surprise,
Who knew?
Interstellar.
the re-release of the weekend comes in as a shocker at number 5 so far.
The wild number is, as of right now, for the weekend, the per theater average on Interstellar is $26,818
Good God.
Damn.
for a 10-year-old movie.
Damn. Have they thought about re-releasing the Batman ones?
That is just crazy. Thursday, number 2 was really, really a shocker. If I can get back to it. It's not going anywhere, is it?
One more.
One more. Yeah, Thursday we had Pushpa the Rule Part 2 that started off the weekend as number 2 with Wicked being number 1. So it was quite the surprise. Werewolves was a little bit higher then.
Frank Grillo, also, killing it in Creature Commandos as Flag Senior. Hey, he's having a good time right now, but he deserved better.
These
Werewolves should be higher.
These are preliminary estimates too, aren't they?
Yep.
So
if it's green, it's not verified.
Yeah, so all of these numbers are unverified for Sunday, which means they will change.
Yeah. Totals are Moana with 52, Wicked with 34.8, Gladiator with 12.4, Red One 7 million, and Interstellar with 4.425.
Holy hell. Sorry, the other one that we didn't talk about that released last week, and I remember there was one that's getting Oscar buzz, The Order. It's got Nicholas Hoult in it. He plays like a white supremacist bank robber.
Oh.
It was kind of a limited release, but that one's definitely getting some buzz. It's also got Jude Law, who completely changes him. Or not Jude Law. Yeah. I always forget him and the other, Ewan McGregor. I don't know why I always flip those two names, but it is Jude Law. Anyway, this one's getting some buzz.
Does Jude Law have like Nicolas Cage IRS issues? He's all over the place now.
But this one's getting some buzz for Holt and Jude Law. They really become American in this. You can barely hear their accent.
Americans playing, what is it? White supremacists?
Yeah, bank robbers. They need to get the funds for the guns for their secret organization.
There's your poster right there. Funds for the guns.
It's you start seeing these people in a lot of everything when the balloon payments are due on the mortgage or the lease of your vehicles. So, and it's okay. It's fine. A lot of actors, a lot of classic character actors work the same way. When the taxes were due, when the mortgage was due, that's when they would go to work, and then they'd stop working when they didn't need to. So, kind of like Mike Tyson.
My favorite film franchise of all time. Actress very famously needed a car, and the only reason she took the acting gig in that first film was because Betsy Palmer needed a new car. She thought the script was shit, but she needed the money, so she took it.
Absolutely, yes. I used to design websites for the exact same reason. I don't do that anymore.
Ray, did you see The Order?
Dogs.
Pardon me.
Sorry, it was a coffee break. I thought I could sneak away and fill up my cup. But I have not seen it. I've just seen nothing but buzz. And now it's the dogs. I have heard nothing but good buzz for it, and I hear possibly Holt and now I'm forgetting his name. Jude Law might also be nominated. This is an amazing film that must be seen. So I don't know. I just I didn't hear a lot of buzz prior to this weekend, and then once it came out, it was like I don't know. A few different places are kind of reporting that. So I want to see that, and sadly, I didn't get to see Y2K or Werewolves either. So
Likewise,
there's quite a few I want to see.
You are amongst everyone else who decided not to see those movies.
But Interstellar, you know, I did happen to. No, I didn't.
Man.
I didn't go see that one.
Have we all seen the top 5 movies this weekend? Have we all seen every single one of them at least once?
No.
Yes. No? You've not seen Moana 2?
No.
Oh,
Nor have
come
I
on.
seen Wicked. My uncle has
Oh.
Gladiator 2 on standby, but I have yet to go to his house.
Oh.
I have seen Red 1. Oddly enough, I've seen Red 1 and Interstellar. Those are the only 2 movies I've seen in that top 5.
I just watched Wicked a second time last night, and yeah, I'm going to put it firmly as number 3 favorite musical of mine this year.
Dude, Interstellar is on 165 screens, and it's in 5th.
I'm just saying, it's not my favorite of his films.
That's
I think his other
ridiculous.
ones might do better.
Get Inception back out there. I'll go.
I think it would have done worse if it was in more theaters.
Perhaps.
But like a diamond, if you limit it,
Yeah.
if you limit the output, then you create interest. So
You had to be there, a factor.
yeah, and maybe that's what they were thinking with Queer, who was on 47 screens, although it didn't work out as well.
Woke.
I've not seen that one either, nor have I seen
That's
Y2K.
Daniel Craig, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Queer.
I don't know if he's qualified to make this movie.
I don't know where
Where's-
you're going with that one, but okay.
Well,
That's a provocative image. Wow, wow, wee, wah.
there's a line of thinking that says if you are not, then you should not play. So if you are not bi, you should not play bi. If you are not trans, you should not play trans. If you are not disabled, you should not play disabled. So you know, there may or may not have been questions of whether or not he should have been leading this film.
Gonna have to get up Liberace. Go dig up his corpse.
No, I think he was qualified to be in this film.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the presumed award buzzy movies have limited releases. Like Queer, I'm familiar with. A Real Pain, I'm familiar with. Christmas. What else? There was a couple of other ones. Nope. All right, that might be it. Oh, Canada only made $33,000. Ray. The End? What is it? Neon. It's on 3 screens. Okay.
That is a very limited release.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that one, and I was digging through which ones got released last weekend.
Yeah,
but, you're
right.
right. I think they're just hitting the minimum. I forget what that threshold is, but
2 weeks.
they're trying to do the minimum so that they can go ahead and get the nomination.
Yeah, that's called four-walling. At least that's what they called it back in my day. You four-wall a film so that you can qualify for a specific award, and it has to be in a specific theater. And then you can start sending the Academy your DVDs. Or, back in my day, multiple CD-ROMs.
Oh, Lindsay gets those. He gets the screeners because he's in the Film Actors Guild.
Yes, he's in the Screen Actors Guild. And
I like calling it the Film Actors Guild.
I see.
You can narrow that one down.
Well, you know, there's a difference. If you're a film actor, you just can talk as low as you want.
You can play in
because-
Queer too.
Yes.
I
I used
so
to. Oh,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
No,
I was
no,
gonna
your
say,
channel.
when I did when I was doing movies, I would hire theater actors because you can reel them in. It's really hard to draw a film actor out once they've decided mumblecore is their style. And it's harder to adjust the audio afterwards when you can only use the kind of sound people I can afford. So, yeah, 2 labs and a boom. That's all we got time for. So let's go. Let's make it happen.
Tilda Swinton and Michael Shannon doesn't have a synopsis. That's awesome. But it of the screens it's on, 2 of them, so that's 66%, are in New York. I left at the wrong time.
And we are talking about the end, correct?
We are.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be one of those things where like, what the hell was that? There's at least 1 or 2 of those every year during the Oscars. You're like, what?
Well, that's not too bad for 3 theaters.
No, it's not at all.
No.
It's far better than Y2K, that's for sure, on the per theater average.
Yeah, you are absolutely right about that. So, yeah. So what's coming up on, let's just get this out of the way because, hey, we're going to be there, right? I mean, you're going to be there. What's going to be happening on your show tonight?
This in detail? I don't know. A whole lot of nothing to report, it seems. Just watch last week's episode because it's basically what we're reporting on.
Okay. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that and possibly more. And stories of Lindsay's date on Friday.
Oh.
So
that might be worth it alone.
Yeah. Go to Williscredia on the YouTubes and like and subscribe. That's why it's been too long. 2 weeks is too long of a break. Like and subscribe and get notifications so you know when the latest numbers come in and we can tell you about them in detail. Or he can, or they can, or it doesn't matter. They'll be there. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I'm not going to spin the wheel for this one. I'm just going, where is it? Just going to switch this real quick. And
we're not closing with this?
I'd rather not. I'd rather close with Florida Man.
A headliner.
So yeah, new to DVDs on December 10th coming up. All of your streaming channels may not have all of your favorite content forever. Some things are being shelved now as we speak. If you are a Cartoon Network aficionado, some of your favorite things will be going away in the beginning of the year, including Bill and Mandy and whatever that was, and Courage the Cowardly Dog. So I encourage you to purchase your own media and watch it at your leisure. Because when the thrill hits you, that's when you want to see it. So this is Abrupto, and it's a marionette puppet movie.
Huh.
Les Hackle is having a hard time. He's down on his luck and out of money and struggling to find a job. Suddenly, his entire life changes when he finds a mysterious device implanted in his neck. The device is a bomb, and there's only one way Les can survive. While behaving heinously, Les must also try to identify the person manipulating his life. After all, it may be the only opportunity he has to regain control of his life. Anybody catch this when it was in theaters?
Are you kidding?
Well, now you have an opportunity as Abrupto comes to DVD on Tuesday. The Beast is also being released. Look, it was in some film festivals, and it probably did okay. In the near future, where emotions have become a threat, Gabrielle finally decides to purify her DNA in a machine that will immerse her in her past lives and rid her of any strong feelings. She then meets Lewis and feels a powerful connection as if she had known him forever.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
The premise sounds pretty cool.
It seems to be very artsy.
Yeah.
Cole, are you watching? Did you see this? Let me know in the comments below. The Block Island Sound. If you missed it on Netflix, it's now out on DVD. Something lurks off the coast of Block Island, silently, yeah, absolutely, influencing the behavior of fisherman Tom Lynch. After suffering a series of violent outbursts, he unknowingly puts his family in grave danger. Find out what that is when you watch Block Island Sound. Ooh, the Soul Eaters.
Huh.
Looks like Halloween has finally come to roost. 2 investigations in a remote French village, just down the street from Charles and across the pond or across the little river.
Across the bridge.
Yeah. One into a gruesome murder and the other into child disappearances, unearthed the legend of a supernatural soul eater. But is it reality, delusion, or a screen for the other evils? Sounds complicated.
Yeah, English, please. Better be English. It won't be.
It's going to be in French, and they're going to smoke cigarettes.
And
half of it's going to be in black and white.
No.
Yes.
No.
Finally. For those who were ready for it to be available to them, Winnie the Pooh 2 is out. Deep within
Dr. Boogaloo.
That's right. With the Beastie Boys on the soundtrack. Deep within the 100-acre wood, a destructive rage grows as Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Owl, and Tigger find their home and their lives endangered after Christopher Robin revealed their existence. Not wanting to live in the shadows any longer, the group decides to take the fight to the town of Ashdown, home of Christopher Robin, leaving a bloody trail of death and mayhem in their wake. Winnie and his savage friends will soon show everyone that the hunters will soon become the hunted, whilst looking to exact their revenge on Christopher Robin once and for all.
Well, the synopsis sounds fantastic. It's a shame the movie doesn't mirror that.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
Oh, well, then that's a shame.
It is in my bottom 5 of the year.
Bottom 5 of the year? That's a list I want to see. I don't know if I'll contribute and become a member so that I can vote on it, but that is definitely
nobody can vote on my bottom 5.
Well, I mean, we could vote to see it. That or another thing about comedy.
It'll be out.
Sweet. Gray, do you have a bottom 5?
Wait, how loud could your dogs possibly be?
It's literally coffee again. I finished my cup, so I was
how
like,
much coffee are you feeding your dogs?
They get minimal, but I'm on like 2 pots a day at this point. What can I say? I thought I had time to froth some milk. I was like, they won't notice. They're talking about new to DVD. Yeah, it's great, man. It adds a little flair to it. Keeps it even warmer.
Do you have a bottom 5?
I do. Sorry. Yes, my bottom 5 is a little different than Charles. I did not happen to see Blood and whatever the second Pooh. I heard the reviews and I was like, I got a better way to spend a couple of hours.
I would agree with that.
But yeah, mine contains a lot of them that I really thought that I was going to enjoy. I wanted to, and man, was I disappointed. But yeah, I do have 5 really bad ones this year. In fact, one of them I think I watched last weekend. So yeah, there's some newer ones.
I don't know that I have seen enough to have a bottom 5.
Well, don't start with Winnie the Pooh, that's for sure.
I probably would have seen it if it was Winnie the Second Pooh,
You're better off flossing your toenails than seeing this movie.
Oh. Hate flossing toenails. They always bleed. I wonder what that music signifies. I believe that means it's time for Florida Man.
Yay!
Florida Man, the game where all the headlines are real, but not all of them are from Florida. So you get to choose whether or not they are Florida Man or not Florida Man. And don't forget, people in the chat, you get to play as well. So let me just throw you in here. Boom. And these are the headlines. Florida Man broke into zoo and hit a giraffe with a bottle. Gray, is that a Florida Man or was that outside of Florida?
I mean, that sounds so Florida. I'm just wondering if it's a little too on the nose, but nah, I think Florida would have a flair to it. I don't think they would go something as pedestrian as a bottle. I'm going non-Florida Man.
Great choice. Willis Credia, Sipo, if you will.
I'm gonna go in the other direction, just for the sake of variety.
Okay, so you're going to say...
I won't be surprised no matter what the answer is, but I just for the sake of keeping different choices out there,
You got to say Florida Man, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you say out there, Bri? Sean, are you out there still? You playing the Florida Man? We'll let you catch up as we go. The answer is not Florida, New Hampshire. Not Hampshire, but Hampshire.
Over here.
Yes, your neck of the woods. Men broke into a Marwell Zoo and hit a giraffe with a bottle before posting video on Snapchat.
That's way too tame for Florida. Like, there'd have to be some sort of gator involved. Like, he attacked a giraffe with a gator. I don't know, something.
It's... Whoa, there it is.
Bri got it. He knew.
He knew.
Bry's probably from the area where these people did it.
And I'm sure he didn't write this after we saw the answer.
It's all right.
No. Bry's good about that. Next one. Florida man pleads guilty to ripping off Medicare in genetic testing scheme.
Oh, topical.
Gray?
Ooh, this sounds awfully science-y for Florida. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say not Florida. Florida, they like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just ripping off Medicare. The genetic thing, that's too uppity for them. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I mean, they're not saying that the Florida man is Fauci or anything. Sipo, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to for the sake of variety, but if you didn't have in genetic testing scheme, it'd be a little bit easier for me to go in a different direction. But yeah, I'm not putting that level of intelligence on Florida man. Sorry.
Well, somebody pleaded guilty to ripping off Medicare and genetic testing. I couldn't imagine giraffes in Florida for some reason. Yeah, they look awkward on boogie boards.
So we call Florida skyscrapers.
Bryce says not Florida man for this one.
Yeah.
So,
it's a no for me, dog.
The answer is
what?
South Florida man pleads guilty to ripping off Medicare and genetic testing scheme.
I want to read deeper. I think he's a transplant. This is not a true Florida man.
Yeah, he's
fair
retired.
Enough, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Almost everybody in South Florida is retired from somewhere else. Man, that's a bit of a shocker. That is a shocker.
Yeah.
That is a twist of the nth degree right there.
They got science in Florida now.
Naked Florida man tasered by police after trying to allegedly carjack Uber.
Yeah, that sounds like Florida. Yes.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, that's like intro to Florida man stuff right there. Yeah.
You think they hand these things out to people as they come in through the airport? things you have to do while in Florida, and it's just kind of like got it circled on a list.
I mean, I don't know if they hand it to you. It is in the pamphlet rack. Like, you can learn about it.
Yeah.
There's a suggestion.
Have you tried meth? That's the ad on that same page.
Yeah. Yeah, just talk to Joel. He'll be standing in front of the cab.
Joel.
Man tasered by police trying to allegedly carjack Uber while naked.
Oh no, is that Australian.au?
Yes.
Perth.
No.
Come on, man.
Perth. Australia's Florida. No.
Why? No. See, this is why we should shut the internet down, because people are learning and actually thinking they should do these stupid things.
Yeah, that's
We're having a poor influence on people.
on Australia.
Yes.
The former penal colony.
All right, touche.
You're
Fair
having
enough.
a bad effect on a
Mm-hmm.
former penal colony. That's great. Puppy
Oh.
shoots Florida man, deputies say. Gray.
I mean, based. Yeah, I'm gonna say deserved. Oh wait, we're playing a different game. Yeah, I'm gonna say this sounds like a Florida situation to me. You know, you're cleaning your gun with your puppy, and then the next thing you know, it turns out you didn't unload it. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Yes, I'm going with Florida man.
Charles, how do you feel?
You've been sneaky with these. I'm going to go in the other direction.
You're going to go in the other direction.
I'm
Okay.
It's probably going to be like India or some shit.
Oh,
going
come
by-
on. That's not the UK. That's not Australia. They don't have guns willy-nilly. They don't play with guns and puppies.
That's what makes it newsworthy.
You would be so upset if it said puppy shoots China man, deputies say. Bryce says it's a Florida man. We'll have to see what this is right about now.
Damn it.
Puppy shoots Florida man, deputies say. NBC News.
Whoa, what?
Were
A
you
man who
going
tried to
with
shoot 7 puppies?
was shot
Yeah, well
himself
deserved.
when one of the dogs put its paw on the revolver's trigger.
Did he like set it down in front of the dog with it pointed at him?
Make a movie about this. This is cinema right here. It's like John Wick, but the dog is also John Wick.
Wait, did it say revolver? Did I swear. Yeah, the revolver. So he tried to shoot 7 dogs with a 6-shot
He had to
gun.
reload. you wait right there.
He's reloading.
While he's
This is my chance. This is my chance.
based. You know, they just build dogs different in Florida.
Yeah.
Way to go, little buddy.
How big were those
You deserve
puppies?
your
Because the
freedom.
revolver is not easy to squeeze the trigger on either.
You haven't
True.
seen Deer Hunter, have you?
Were they Great Dane puppies or? Because I mean, right now I'm thinking like a little Pekingese or something like that. You know, something handheld. But that has to be a bigger kind of dog, I would assume. What do we got? Investors pumped 1.3 million into a Latino Netflix. Florida man charged with fraud.
More
It doesn't
smart stuff.
sound too Florida to me.
Mm.
Latino Netflix? I mean, they're not talking Cuban Netflix. I'm going to say no. No, dog. Not Florida.
Yeah.
Not Florida.
Yeah, this could be a Queens, New York thing. I'm
Could
going
be.
to say no.
Could be a California thing. It
Could be, sure. Could be a Mexico thing.
Yes. Could be a South American thing.
Sure.
That I almost joined up and was part of. But no. Florida man. Bri, what do you think? Is this Florida man or is this someplace other?
Wait, did your theme song not port over for Florida Man? Because that was a banger.
No, a lot of the things did not port over because there were limitations on the number
That's unfortunate.
of media you can have as opposed to the size of them.
Hmm.
So I could have 5 2-hour movies here, but only 5. Or 5 theme songs, but only 5.
That's beat.
So, Bryce says not Florida Man. So we can now move on to the answer. The answer is
What?
Florida Man.
What is life?
I gotta say, he's a transplant. This is not. This just doesn't scream Florida to me. But fair enough.
I don't think I've gotten one right.
Florida Man.
I got one
yeah,
right.
you got the puppy. You got the puppy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So you got at least that one. And naked man found living in crawl space under elderly woman's home.
Ooh, because I've heard stories of this. It is not unique to the Western Hemisphere. There's been a few Asian stories of this as well. I don't put this beyond a Florida person. Generally, you can tell when a Florida person is living in your crawl space. It gets noisy, and you can generally smell it. But they are in swamp country. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Let's go Florida Man on this one. I think the swamp covered their tracks.
They don't have basements in Florida. So I'm going to say.
What about crawl spaces?
Nope.
Do you need a basement for a crawl space?
I don't know. I think Roselle's peeled off the synopsis for Parasite.
Your logic is making me question mine, but fair enough.
I'm going to say not Florida Man.
I don't know enough about Florida construction. It looks like me and Bri are going Florida, but I don't know.
A lot of old ladies in Florida.
Yes, there are. There are plenty of old ladies in Florida and plenty of crawl spaces to, especially if they build them high enough on the beach. You can get underneath them, park your car there. There was a guy who told a joke in his house, and his wife didn't think it was funny, but he did hear laughter from upstairs.
That's awesome.
So it's the kind of thing that happens. Naked man found living in crawl space under elderly woman's home in Southern California. Way to go, Charles.
Hey,
I got one.
It's in Southern California either. So I don't know my construction with coastal houses. I just know here in the flyover states, we have crawl spaces and basements.
Yes, yes. That's where we keep our bugs.
Ew.
Indeed.
Naked man found living. Did I do that one again?
I'm going to say not
You
Florida.
just did that one.
I
Yeah.
got the wrong
I'm thinking
one.
maybe the California area.
I did that
Southern
twice.
to be exact. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure maybe Southern California.
All right, so one less than we had before. Florida woman pulls alligator out of pants during traffic stop.
Come on.
Woman,
Right?
though. I mean, ooh. I mean, who am I to tell a Florida person how to identify? But,
Nice woke twist on the Florida man.
This sounds like it's got to be. I mean, we've heard a million stops where, suddenly somebody pulls a gator out of the least expected thing. I believe somebody robbed a fast food window with a gator in one of these stories. It really doesn't seem out of the ordinary to just pull a gator out of your pants, but I gotta know, were they like leggings? Were they like the skinny jeans, or were we bringing back the Jinkos? Yeah, I'm gonna go real Florida.
See, the catch is the pants weren't on her legs. That's where the real Florida gimmick is.
Oh, I see.
Bottomless.
She was just living in her car. It was in the laundry area.
She just had pants in her hand. Yeah, definitely Florida.
Hey, is that an alligator in your pants, or are you happy to see me? It is an alligator, and I got another surprise for you.
Can you put those pants on, ma'am? No, I can't because I have a gator inside them. That's why.
Let's see what we got here. Florida woman pulls alligator out of pants during traffic stop.
Paint by numbers.
So, yeah,
It's unclear whether or not she was wearing them, though. Either way.
She was wearing them at the time. She was actually wearing them at the time.
Oh.
And I don't
Do
know.
we know how tight they were? It makes a difference.
There's no evidence whether they were tucked into anything else.
She was wearing Jenkos. That's how it worked.
I mean, that could be a big gator then.
And I can't believe I doubled one up. So that's it. Aren't alligators only in Florida?
I mean, We've got them in the flyover states. They might have been imported, but I've seen them at the zoo all throughout this lovely giant country.
And I believe
I don't know that they're native everywhere.
There are caimans in the Cayman Islands, and I believe a caiman is a type of alligator, isn't it? Or
Was
is
it
it
ever between a crocodile and an alligator? Because that's where I get confused all the time.
Well, crocodiles rock, according to Elton John.
La, 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 la.
Other than that, I don't know.
It's the shape of the snout is one way of telling them. The way the teeth are aligned, some kind of way.
Yeah, I think like the Concorde jet, it's the droop snoot. It just sets it apart from the other snoots.
Huh. Yeah, I still don't know.
I think crocodiles are partial to moonshine.
Yeah, Bri, I know there's a bunch of those types of creatures in Louisiana as well. So I think it's mostly swampy areas.
Yes. And apparently there's a random hippo or two.
Oh no.
There was a movement in the 1800s to domesticate the hippo as a kind of cattle for Louisiana.
What?
Yeah, it's a little bit of obscure history that I could be wrong about. There's an American crocodile.
As long as it's not a blue elephant, then everything's fine.
Yes. Leave that fat kid alone. Guys, I think we covered everything.
Based.
All of it.
Yeah.
And thank you for putting together this amazing Florida Man game. It's always a great time.
Indeed.
I would have doubled up way more than just one question. This is the first time I've ever seen it. I think we can let it go.
You know what? It's much harder these days. Florida is a very dark place now. You can't look up Florida Man under news and get whimsy anymore. Go ahead, give it a try, Charles. Florida Man, and then click on news, and you'll see that there's a lot more things that aren't as whimsical. Cheaper meat, I read that last week with the hippos. Hippos have cheap meat?
Oh, come on.
I mean,
Florida Man steals carpet cleaner while half naked and high.
That's the first thing you get?
That's intro to Florida Man right there.
yeah.
Overcoming the odds, visually impaired Central Florida Man passes Florida bar.
I totally thought you were going to say driving test.
Florida Man accused of hate crime and deadly shooting of gay man claims self-defense.
He threatened me.
He's trying to get to my alligator. He was trying to get to my alligator.
Sir, you can't use a euphemism.
Florida man accused of fatally stabbing a strange girlfriend up to 70 times.
Whoa.
Dies in crash while fleeing deputies. Florida man accused of sexually abusing teenage girl at church. Florida man accused of hate crime and deadly shooting of gay man. That's the one you laughed at. Florida man gets life for kidnapping, robbery, and sexual assault. See, it's...
No. Yeah, I'm seeing some of them now.
It's...
Yeah, all right.
They're not the best.
This is not as fun anymore. Yeah, okay.
No.
I mean, this one's fun. Florida man attempting to purchase crack on Craigslist busted by undercover cop who responded to ad. Wait a minute. So they both were trying to buy crack?
Well, I mean, the cop decided, how better to sell it than on Craigslist.
I didn't realize you could advertise on Craigslist with things like man seeking meth. That is bound to draw a little bit of legal attention. Man seeking, I thought it was man seeking male. M seeks M. But no, it's a man seeks meth is what it was.
I mean, that's no patrol officer doing this, right? This is detective work. Getting on Craigslist, making an ad.
Post searching for ice or crack was answered by undercover investigator.
Look at this last one here. Florida man wanted for $33,000 coin scam. So these guys are really getting at it. They're getting wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your Medicare scam, your genetic scams and Latino Netflix scams. So it's not easy as it used to be to get a fun little Florida man headline.
Haktua isn't from Florida, is she?
No.
Is that another Florida scam? Oh, okay.
I hope not.
No, that's from what was it? The Cayman Islands?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's where they
Florida man is arrested after explosive devices found in casino toilet. What? I have questions. I'll show you the house wins.
Let's see, Florida man. Oh, no, I'm not reading that one.
Yeah,
But
they're
they name-
sprinkled horrifying things.
Yeah, like this guy allegedly arranging for sex with. No, I'm not going to say it, but they name him James Richards.
As did you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recommend looking up James Richards, Florida, if you want to not be upset. So,
Florida man sues Netflix over streaming issues during unwatchable Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul match. That's a you problem, sir.
Florida man shoots dead 71-year-old neighbor for playing music too loud on Thanksgiving.
Oh, not very festive.
What kind of Thanksgiving jingles was he playing, or was it just Def Leppard? See, Florida man suspected of lewd acts. A lot of bad stuff happening in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But yeah, that's what makes it a little harder. And, we get them where we can. We put them together and do our best to have fun with Florida man. Because Florida man can be fun. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. They're starting to plug in the numbers.
Oh, is that right?
1, 2, 3, and 4. See? So at any moment, and I don't think any moment, I think at any moment Interstellar could actually rank 5 here anytime soon between now and tonight's show. So keep up with Charles.
Yeah, I would assume that's pretty much a lock.
Yeah. So Gray, what have you got going on?
There are some videos that should be out soon, but I'm really taking my time letting the iron get really cold on that. But if you just can't get enough of me, of course, go on over to Charles's channel. Go on over to Willis Screedia, YouTube at Willis Screedia, to watch Showbiz. It used to be Mondays, but sometimes it's other days. For the last few months, it's been Sundays. So I really should update this with correct fonts and everything, but I have not. Enjoy more of the show business, the deep dive, a little bit later tonight. And then if you just can't get enough after that, every Thursday, there's The Thinkers over on That Darn Kidda's channel, YouTube at That Darn Kidda. Come on over. Have a good time. You'll see a lot of familiar faces. That's about all I got going on. What about you, Mr. Rosales? You got anything to advertise since you're back from your little break?
Well, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, which is this show on Sunday mornings. But I'm thinking that maybe we might move the show to a different day. So
Which one?
That's a good question. What's good for everybody? Might put up a poll in the Discord to find out what would be a better day for everybody.
I think we should do the Sunday Showdown on Wednesday.
The Sunday Showdown on Wednesday. Super Sunday. It might get a name
Sunday
change.
sounds great on Wednesday.
It could be Wacky Wednesdays.
I'm being a moron. Don't mind me.
Wacky
Very hard
Wednesdays
not to be.
at noon America time. So
Yeah, I think if I had to speak on everyone's behalf, and this is certainly not me speaking because 3 p.m. for me is perfect. Early in the morning on a Sunday is probably hard for everyone to show up for. I know there were moments where I was struggling to wake up in time.
Mhm.
And that's me on the East Coast at the time.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed to be home at that time. Just I'm not sure if I'm going to be awake.
Got to put a
And
whole
if you
pot
are
of
awake,
coffee-
you're by the coffee pot, just trying to froth some milk.
Hey man, I got a coffee monkey on my back, and what can I say? That milk frother is really helping with it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That looks incredible.
I just got this silly Jason Voorhees head.
Well, it's a lot better than a little saucer and a cup that you'd have to poke your finger.
Mm.
Ooh,
Hey,
speaking
that
of
gave me
meaty
my
fingers,
internet start, sir.
Well, T,
Tate,
who gave you your start?
Little
Mr.
tiny
Predator?
cups that you have to hold your pinky up with. I don't know. It was a running meme.
is that what it was before it was a gray poupée bottle?
No, I had a debate with somebody, and they mocked the fact that I was drinking from an espresso cup.
Oh.
Anyway, good
Ooh.
times.
Well,
am I familiar with this person?
Yeah, you might have
Oh.
done a stream or two with them.
Okay. Interesting. Can you tell how much I paid attention to that stuff?
Charles, have you got anything planned?
Everything
I know,
Grace said. Everything Grace said.
I know you've been planning on doing something with your better half.
Oh, that's up. So my better half and I, we watched and recorded, I guess you could call it like podcast type content. We watched The Substance and Indecent Proposal, and those are up for supporters of the channel. The Substance, I think, is about 50 minutes, and the Indecent Proposal talk is about 55. And we just shoot the S about two. One is decent and one is quite good. Demi Moore film, and I'll let you decide which one is which. But yeah, she's back. She's got a slow week this week, so we might be doing more like-minded content. Otherwise, February, there's some plans for us doing stuff for the romantic time of year.
Oh yeah, that's my son's birthday is right after Valentine's Day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is he an
Yep, I got
aquarium like I am?
You talking about the astrological thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I guess. I don't know. I don't keep up with these things.
Okay.
You know,
I wouldn't know if somebody didn't.
I
tell
just drive him to the psychic. That's all I do. I don't. It's a whole personal thing. I don't listen in on the conversation. But he's like, my moon is in retrograde, Dad. What do I do? I said, I don't know. Go back in. Here's another 5. So it's a lie. All right. Well, okay. Does she have a channel that you need
She
to
does,
promote?
but it's been pretty dormant. Anything recent, she's been on my channel to do. So
Okay. All right then. Fine.
Based.
Let's keep everybody in the dark about it then.
Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. It's certainly incredible content. Go over there and tell her she should be doing more of it. 'Cause
There's
I
no
agree
reason-
with that.
Yes. Should she have more subscribers?
Yes.
Possibly so. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
I exploit her when I make content because she's a bit more methodical about writing things, and I'm a bit more bullet point.
Mhm.
And she doesn't like getting in front of the camera. So
Does she speak in paragraphs?
no, she doesn't stammer. That's a big plus in my book.
Oh yeah. Well, that's great. That's awesome. All right then. Oh, hello, kitty.
Kitty's here?
There's
Oh.
a kitty. A little black cat. Let's come over here. You coming
Oh,
all the way over,
Bobby.
or am I just gonna have to reach over and snatch you like a shark and reaching in the water? Ah.
Aw.
There was
There
a
it is.
cat.
There's a cat.
It was 50-50 in my opinion, but it was real.
It would have still been real if she got away, but would have been a different ending for the show. She's got that anime cat look.
She really does.
Yeah, like she's.
Her eyes are like much bigger than a regular cat's eyes. They don't have the cat eye thing. They're round.
Oh.
Come on in there. Say hi.
Meow.
Say hi. No,
Wow.
no. You ready to get down? You ready to get down? Okay, you go ahead. Go on. Say bye-bye. And we will say goodbye. And thanks for joining us today. And hope to see you next week when we have more stuff and more people, hopefully.
We missed you, Bob.
Bob, get well soon. I hope you make bail soon.
In your eyes,
Always so loud.